Hi everyone, welcome back. It's Deborah. Today I'm going to be making an embellishment for using in my junk journals. I may make more than one, and the paper I'm using is this one, which is the Mintay from Fall Festival. And I have cut a piece from one of the 12 by 12 sheets, which is just a piece of the floral, and I'm going to use that as the base for this embellishment. I've got a couple of other things I'm going to put on it as well. So first of all, I want to decide what I'm going to cut out, and I think I'm going to start with this blackboard and cut it out. Now, because this background is quite dark, I'm going to choose the lighter things that are on here to put on it. If I wanted to use some of the darker things, I could turn it over and use the base as the other side. But I really like the colour of these florals, so this is what I'm going to use. So now I'm going to cut out some of the lighter things, so probably like the pumpkins, the puppy dog, some of these other things that aren't quite so dark. Now, just because I'm using pumpkins and a fall paper doesn't mean I have to make this page about autumn and pumpkins and leaves and things like that. I think it'll just look as nice on any sort of journal page, any topic I'm journaling about actually. I do have some pictures and things that I could use for when we were in places where there is actually an autumn, we call it in Australia, or a fall, as it's known in North America. And most of those came from when I was visiting the US and places like that. It's obviously in Brisbane we really don't get autumn or fall at all because it's just too hot here. We do get a bit of winter. In fact, we've got beautiful weather at the moment, but we don't really get the leaves turning or anything like that. I used to live in Canberra, and I must say I really miss that, not having those leaves turning. If you like this paper and you haven't seen it before, I did a flip through of it about a week ago, so just go back and look at some more of my more recent videos and you will find there I did a flip through of a Stamperia paper pad and this and another of the new Mintay paper pads. So if you want to look at it and see what's in it, you'll be able to do that. I think I'm going to start putting some of it down now, and some of it I will ink the edges just a little bit, particularly the puppy dog, because a bit of the white is showing. These little things which are thin, like the leaves and things, I've actually lost a couple as I was going along, but I'm still going to stick them on. I'll just stick it back together. Sometimes it's hard when you're doing tiny little thin things like that to actually get something to work for you without cutting it, without it falling apart. The other thing is that because it is a junk journal, I wanted to put a bit of something else on it, and I thought that this paper would be quite good before I stick this down, though I get sort of a bit more of a junky look. So I'll just stick a bit of this down. I may end up putting a bit more down somewhere as well. Your pumpkin can sit here, just on the bottom of that page, and then I want to put this down, but obviously I need to put it low so that the dog can sit on top of it. I might put some more paper too. Put the puppy up here. So it looks like he's sitting on top of that log. That's not going to fit. Actually, I'll put it here so that it goes off the page on this side. I've got a leaf that needs to go back on here, and I've got one more here as well. And this little bit here, it needs to go back on at the point where it came off. I was just seeing, there it is. I'm just trying to make sure that all of this is glued on, especially these little fragile bits. Got a bit of glue there on my finger to try and help make it a bit easier when you've got these little teeny bits to stick on. And I may just I cut this, but I don't think I've got anywhere to put that. So I'll save that. And I'm going to put one of these little round balls down. Not sure where, maybe here beside the tree. And I think I'll put this down here. Don't like that either. I think there, that looks good, better than where it was. Anyway. And I do want to cut this off. Now I think that's fine. It's quite cute. It could sit in front of a pocket. You could make a pocket out of it. So it could be a skinny pocket that goes on the page. And I'll just stick his ear down because his ear wants to pop up. So that's one piece done. Okay, now let's do another one. I've already got the glass jar cut out. It's one of the mason jars, so I'll see what I can have to match that. So with this one, I've just cut it out. I'm not going to cut in these bits here. I don't think you're going to see them after I've put something down on it. So I'll just leave it like that, and I thought I could put some things in front of it now. I'll just cut out some candles and a few other things here. I've got a couple more jars I can cut out as well. I'm looking for things that are different heights. I think like any vignette that you're creating, even if you're creating a real one in your house, you need to have different heights. It'll make a world of difference to the things, you know, to the look of the thing. So let me just cut some of these out and put it together. Now with this one, I am going to make a journal out of the rest of these papers. So what I thought I would do was I'll put this down on this book page, and then later I will make it into a pocket. I'll probably mount it on another piece so that the pocket is fairly sturdy. But I think that that's the plan. Let's just put this together. What I want to do is have the bottom level all on the same plane, so they look like they're sitting on the same surface. I don't want to have them so that they're not sitting on the same surface, and because I don't want a gap between the pumpkin and the flowers, I'll have to move them all up. Now this one is obviously shorter, but when I cover it with that ball, you really can't tell. So it looks like it's part of that. I think it's something like that. That looks good. Okay, I'll get that down now and see how we go. Hoping that this will do what I want it to do, which is to look nice as a little vignette. The mason jar is going to sit, and that'll be the guide for the plane or the surface that they're all sitting on. Therefore the ball needs to sit on that as well. Whether that jar can come up a tiny little bit. Might have to move the pumpkin because it's not big enough now. I'll put the little covered jar in here. Jam jar or whatever it is, probably a jam jar by the look of that. And then the pumpkin, and then the little candle, which I might tuck at the back behind the pumpkin. I'm happy with that. So I'm going to leave it like this, and then, as I said, when I get to the point of using it, I will, cut or fold it off and mount it on something else so that I've got a pocket like that, and that'll become a pocket. Not sure what I want to do yet, so I think I'll leave it the one size, but I'm quite happy with both of those. And I still have a whole heap left on my fussy cut sheet, so I'm probably going to get another 2 or 3 things out. Of course, I wouldn't have to make a vignette like this. I could just use something like the big pumpkin or something like that. I just thought that making a little vignette of them was quite cute. So I hope you enjoyed that, and join me next time. This is Deborah. Cheers.